Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of my F1 23 MyTeam career mode. This is part 44 here in Saudi Arabia. If you did miss the last episode, it was a very intense race. Max Verstappen takes the win and it was nearly a podium for ourselves as well. We just couldn't quite get there, and it was a very tough DRS battle as well. And we also had a crash with George Russell in the pit lane, which was something I haven't come across yet in this game. We have had the two Mercedes crash after the line, but I've never had a crash inside the pit lane. And now, as we take a look here from an email from Max here, we've got some fun parts coming from Red Bull, so hopefully this can try and help surge yourself further up the order in the driver standings. I'm putting full focus into the driver standings and not so much into the constructors anymore. As we take a look now at the R&D charts here, so McLaren are the fastest team with Red Bull coming in second. They are making strong grounds to catch McLaren here, Aston Martin, and then and Mercedes, sorry, are very close together as well with Ferrari, and then ourselves and Haas are a little bit further back. We're currently leading the midfield, but definitely looking to try and get ourselves back towards the front where we definitely should be. We've kind of had a bit of a slump in our R&D and need to get that back on track here as we get ready for the first practice session here in Saudi Arabia. And the first session is going to be not looking so good, actually. As we come around here, the very fast left-hander here, sorry, and we've actually gone for a bit of a spin, so definitely looking to try and get ourselves some more re-wing added on there. Just wanted to try and take a fair bit off since it's such a fast-flowing circuit, and with a couple of decent straights here as well, so unfortunately not being able to get a single lap in there that was within the target. But now here, we've absolutely nailed it. Only a couple of corners where we ran slightly wide of the apex, but we can definitely dial that in. And then now onto the qualifying sim here. Unfortunately, we're going to run wide here, and we're actually going to bottom out on the curb and go for a bit of a spin. So that's one set of tyres already wasted. And now we're about to go out for our next attempt at this. And we've got a lot of smoke coming out the rear of our car. And unfortunately, that's going to be a last place finish for us in practice one. But we have to put all of our issues behind us now and get ourselves prepped for this qualifying session. I really need to try and get ourselves as far up as we can, because we had to take extra components due to that failure that we've had in practice. So at the end of our first flying lap, where is it going to put us? We're currently P30, we go P10, but it's not looking good there because we're behind both the Williams and the AlphaTauris. So we're going in for another fast lap here. We did try to go for another fast lap before and weren't quite able to get it done. So on a fresh set of tyres, we're currently 3/10 up, and that's going to be us in P15, so barely on the cusp at the moment, running it very deep into the final corner here, going onto the back straight now, front straight, and it's a purple first sector, green second center. Are we going to be able to make it into Q2? No, we're not. Unfortunately for ourselves, we are knocked out. Carlos Sainz, Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, your top three. Alex Albon, P10, so he makes it straight into Q2 at least. He's half a second down, and very narrowly, Felipe Drugovich loses out as well to Zhou Guanyu. So
we're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the lower Hijaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar. We're in Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Sainz, Ocon, Liam Lawson, Joe, Hulkenberg, Sargent, Gasly, Albon, Stroll, Magnussen, Drugovich, Iwasa, Tsunoda, De Vries, Bottas, and the Rainmaster. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. They've been involved in a number of costly incidents lately, That's got to affect their mindset going into this race.
It's not an ideal situation by any means. When you get into a bad run like that, there's always a risk of frustration creeping in, which can cause more mistakes and locks you into this vicious cycle. Hopefully today they can get through turn 1 cleanly and stay calm for the rest of the race.
And now for the strategy. We're going to have to try and go long here. I think that's the only way to go, and try and defend. I think that's the best way we can go about this. So medium to the hard tyres to try and get this race. At least, I want to try and say points are possible. We've got some new components, so hopefully everything is going to be all good. But yeah, starting on the mediums, it looks like a lot of people around us are actually starting on the softs. So I'm not expecting to get a massive launch here off the line, especially considering they're all on the soft tyres. Wassa on the medium tyres, so maybe that is someone we can try and race early. But it's a very tight couple of corners before we start getting into the fast section of the circuit. So there might be just enough time there to get maybe a dive bomb or two done. As now the lights are on their way out. It is 5 red lights, and we are away for the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. It's actually a pretty good start, much better than I was expecting. Yuki Tsunoda's had an absolute horrid start, and so we're going to take it very easy going down the inside of a couple of cars here. The two AlphaTauris are looking very vulnerable with Nick DeVries on the outside as well. He's currently trying to get past both the Williams. We're going to get the power down, and that's us past Tsunoda. So we're already up into P20, up 2 positions. A very late dive bomb on Ayumu Iwasa. I wasn't expecting him to slow down so much in that train. He's trying to show the nose here as now we go through this very fast, a very tricky section. If you run too wide here, your wheel bottom out on the curb and run off the track, and it will nearly put you into the wall here. As now we take a look at Nico Hülkenberg. He's currently sitting P10. And going onto lap 3 now, Oscar Piastri making a move on Max Verstappen here. This is possibly for him to get onto the podium here. And we put that down into the corner for ourselves. We're now trying to get past Nick DeVries here. This is going to put us up into P18. We're going to go around the outside of Nick here at turn 1, inside of turn 2, and that is the move done. As at the same time, Oscar Piastri gets his move done as well. As now we do a bit of an order check here. So Lando Norris leads the way from Sergio Perez, and Oscar Piastri is the top 3 at the moment. Max Verstappen, George Russell, the 2 Ferraris, so Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. Liam Lawson in P8, then it's Esteban Ocon, and then the 2 Aston Martin. So Nico Hülkenberg rounds out the points. It's then Logan Sargent in P11. Then the 2 Saubers are Stroll and Zhou Guan Yu. Our teammate Alex Albon in P14. Kevin Magnussen, who is actually currently under attack from the Alpine of Pierre Gasly. Gasly's going to have to go around the outside here, which will give him the inside for the next major corner, which will have a little bit of a braking zone, but not too much. Is he going to be able to get the moves done here? They're still running side by side, so it's great racing, but it looks like Gasly definitely has the run. So that's Gasly P15, Magnussen P16, Felipe Drugovich, he's P17, ourselves currently sitting P18. Then it's the 2 AlphaTauris, and Nick DeVries and Yuki Tsunoda. Then it's Valtteri Bottas and Ayumu Iwasa rounding out the rear of the field. And back on board with ourselves here. We're going on to lap 5 here. We've got some DRS off of Felipe Drugovich ahead of us. He pulls defensive, so we're now going to also use the slipstream from Kevin Magnussen to try and get ourselves a little bit of an extra boost into the braking zone, and it's going to be a pretty much identical move to what we did to Nick DeVries around the outside turn 1, inside for turn 2, and job done, and that is us up into P17. And now up ahead, they're battling really hard, so this little pack here has got him all really tightened up, and so now we're going to try and get a bit of a run here, a little bit creative on the racing line there to try and get ourselves the better exit. Kevin Magnussen actually quite slow. He got a bit boxed in there by our teammate Albon. Are we going to be able to try and get Pierre Gasly at the same time as well? Our teammate is towing us down the main straight. He's going to be 3 wide coming into turn 1 here. We're on the inside here. We've dispatched Kevin Magnussen, or have we? Not quite yet. There we go. We've got past Kevin Magnussen, and now we're going to have to try and go around the outside of Pierre Gasly, give him a bit of a squeeze, so he has to back out of it, or else he would have had to crash there. So definitely pulling out a bit of a strategy there to try and make sure we got the move done. And now we're trying to have to get past our teammate here, going into the final corner around the outside. And at the same time there, that is one of the Hasses there, battling with the Mercedes of Ocon, I believe it is. And then, so that's a little handy battle going on further up the field. And now this is Nico Hülkenberg trying to get himself past Liam Lawson. So is the Haas already running out of tyres? It is an issue that in 2023 the Haas did run into, which was it was very good in a qualifying trim, but terrible in the race trim, burning out its tyres. And maybe that is exactly what Liam Lawson's facing at the moment. Now the 2 Red Bulls are going at it. Could Max Verstappen get himself onto the podium again? Oscar Piastri, we've missed that. Oscar Piastri's got himself past Sergio Perez as well. So it's currently a McLaren 1-2, and we've Max Verstappen now looking to go around the outside to get himself past his teammate Sergio Perez, and he gets it done. And so it's now Verstappen onto the podium, and Perez is currently sitting P4 is now, Perez is actually looking slow. Max Verstappen's very quickly been able to pull out a little bit of a gap here. So could Perez possibly be a little bit under attack here from George Russell? And there it is. George Russell's pulled out of the slipstream. He's going to be looking to go around the outside here. This is a very fast sweeper. And is Russell going to be able to get it done? It looks like he's going to get it done before we even get to the section where Gasly managed to get that move done. So very good opportunistic move there from George Russell. And back on board with ourselves here. It looks like Pierre Gasly, now he's being let loose on those soft tyres. He's caught up to us quite rapidly. I mean, it only took him a lap or so to pretty much gain nearly a full second on us to be able to get this move done. As now there is actually a yellow flag behind us. I'm trying to look behind to see if I can't figure out who it is. I think it was a Haas. I reckon I saw a little bit of a white dot there starting to move a little bit slowly. And we did make a tiny little bit of contact there with Pierre Gasly going to the final corner. And there it is, Kevin Magnussen out of the Grand Prix. So very unfortunate from him, which now leads Liam Lawson, the lone Haas, in this Grand Prix. And while we were battling, so this is the replay of Kevin Magnussen with that engine failure. So it was actually a pretty decent engine failure. And at the same time, all of that was happening. This is George Russell, the reigning champion, going down the inside of, I missed who that was, maybe one of the McLarens. No, it's a Red Bull actually, sorry. So George Russell getting himself now onto the podium, and this is the other Haas getting past Nico Hülkenberg to get himself further up the points order. So one Haas out, the other in the points. As now the leader, Lando Norris, is in the lane. So the pit window is open for those who started on either the soft or the medium tyres. So both tyres were pretty similar with their tyre wear at the moment. Obviously the medium are providing a little bit of a longer stint, as now a couple of cars ahead of us are in, and it looks like we're also going to get ourselves ahead of Lando Norris, so he didn't manage to pull out too big of a lead. So that's a little bit better for us to know that we are down the order, but we're not too far off where the leaders are. So hopefully we can keep this pace up and try and see if we can't get anywhere close to the points. We're currently P11, but we are yet the pit. As we now do a bit of an order check here, so it is Oscar Piastri leading the way, Max Verstappen and George Russell rounding out the podium, and it's the two Ferraris of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc, Esteban Ocon, Nico Hülkenberg, Liam Lawson, and Logan Sargent, and then it's Zhou Guanyu rounding out the points. Ourselves in P11 at the moment. Pierre Gasly is currently sitting in P12, and then it's Lando Norris, the first of the pitters, in P13. Felipe Drugovich, our teammate Alex Albon, on P15, and he's currently being overtaken by Yuki Tsunoda, so that's going to be our teammate dropping down to P16. Tsunoda takes over P15. Nick De Vries, P17, Valtteri Bottas, Yumu Iwasa, Sergio Perez, who has made a pit stop, P20, and then the final car on this track at the moment is Stroll in P21, driving the Sauber. And on board with ourselves behind us, Pierre Gasly has gone into the pits, and Nico Hülkenberg as well. And so that's a couple of extra positions for ourselves here. So now, at this point in time, we are desperate for a safety car, because that would have let us jump a whole heap of these cars. But unfortunately, at the moment, that doesn't seem like it's going to be happening. We're going to be trying to box this lap. We've got Lando Norris all over the back of us, and he's going to make it very awkward, and he's actually hit us. And look at the amount of damage that we have received. We've got red pretty much everywhere on this car. That is... we've got ourselves our safety car, but it's not going to help us at all anymore, because we're going to have to be replacing pretty much the entire car. And looking at a replay here, yeah, that was just stupid. He's just gone for a gap that just didn't exist at all. We're coming into the pits, very clearly coming into the pits and going over so aggressively, so quickly, and yeah, Lando just tried to stick his nose where it shouldn't have been. And it's, yeah, resulted in us now having to stay out for an extra lap with a wounded car. We've also, very unfairly, I believe, taken a 5-second penalty for that, because apparently we caused that collision. Going down a main straight, a very fast main straight, I was not going to be pitting to try and allow Lando to come through for me to then pull into the pits. That's not happening. Lando should have pulled out of that one. I really do believe Lando should have pulled out of that one. So now we're going to have to remain stationary for 5 seconds before the crews are allowed to start working on the car. They're going to take off the mediums. We're going to put on the hard tyres, and all of that, we're going to be putting on a new front wing as well. But I don't think that's really going to do anything, because as you saw when we crashed, there is so much damage, and just to rub the salt into the wounds, even more Lando Norris gets out in front of us. It's now we do an order check here under the safety car. Now everyone's done a pit stop. So it's Oscar Piastri, Max Verstappen, and George Russell's the podium at the moment. Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Liam Lawson, Logan Sargent leads his teammate Nico Hülkenberg, the two Astons, P8, P9, and then Ocon, the final car in the points. And then it's the two Saubers of Stroll and Zhou Guanyu, P11, P12, Pierre Gasly, Felipe Drugovich, two AlphaTauris of Nick De Vries and Yuki Tsunoda, Valtteri Bottas, Yumu Iwasa, our teammate Alex Albon, P18, Lando Norris, P20, and ourselves currently last on the road, P21. And now, we've had an absolute shocker of a safety car restart. But hopefully, jumping a heap of this ERS, we can try and make a bit of a dive bomb. We're going to go down the inside of Lando Norris. And rightfully so, I'm for the rest of the season, I reckon I'm just going to be trying my best to be able to beat Lando Norris. I do not want him to beat us. After that, we're going to send it down the inside of a Yumu Iwasa as well. To get ourselves now up into P19. So 2 passes done very quickly, but unfortunately, because we made a pass in such an unorthodox area, that has actually allowed Lando Norris to get the run on us coming on to the next lap now. So Iwasa actually also tried to stick his nose in there too, so very quickly opened up the steering a little bit. That allowed a bit of space as now we've caught up to the back of our teammate. Usually I try to back out of a move going through here, but we had such a good run, I just couldn't let that run go. So we get through on our teammate going through that very quick chicane there. As now looking at the 2 Aston Martins here, they're currently battling here with the Haas of Liam Lawson. So Logan Sargent's going to get the move done. He's going to get himself up into P7. Hulkenberg unfortunately couldn't quite get the move done there. Is now we're kind of going into a bit of a split screen here. Iwasa has managed to get himself past us. So this damage, I reckon, is very quickly catching up to us. We have not been able to make the progress that I thought we could have on these hard tyres. Remembering this car absolutely loves the hard tyre. It's now looking here. Nico Hulkenberg finally gets himself past Liam Lawson. It looks like Esteban Ocon's looking to try and get himself past as well, and it seems to be a bit of a battle going on for the lead here, but Lawson has managed to successfully defend it from Esteban Ocon, and now looking forward to the lead here. Oscar Piastri leads, but I reckon Max Verstappen is all over it, wanting to try and get that lead, so it looks like the Red Bull is a bit of a better car at the moment than the McLaren. For ourselves here, we've sent it back down the inside of a Yumu Iwasa, and unfortunately we got a bit of a quite a bit of wheel spin actually, which has allowed Iwasa to get back past, and he is starting to drive away from us, unfortunately. And now Max Verstappen, he's looking to get himself through into the lead, and he does it so before the braking zone of the final corner. So definitely looking to extend that lead and try and make sure he gets out of the DRS range from the McLaren, as Ocon is now past the Haas there of Liam Lawson. Finally gets the move done, and now he can try and get down to the 2 Aston Martins. And now this is Carlos Sainz. He's got the DRS on Sergio Perez. Could he possibly make a move here to get himself up into the top 5? He looks like he's going to be trying to go around the outside. It's going to give him the inside for the second corner here. But it looks like Perez on the outside there, on the racing line, is going to get a much better exit there. And he's going to be able to maintain P5 for the moment. But here comes Oscar Piastri. He's looking to go around the outside as Max Verstappen did. Verstappen's going to keep it up the inside, and he's going to be able to retain the lead just for now. But Oscar Piastri should probably get a second dose of DRS here, and there it is. Rear wing opens. Sergio Perez using that DRS with great effect there to get the move done very early down the main straight, as now Carlos Sainz is looking to try and get this move done once again on Sergio Perez. He's going to try and do the same thing here, but I'm not sure if it's going to work. Sergio Perez on the racing line gets the better exit. The 2 Aston Martins going side by side here as well. And so could Nico Hulkenberg finally get himself ahead of Logan Sargent? It looks like Sargent's going to be able to keep the position though. And now that has allowed Esteban Ocon to catch right up to the back of them. So Ocon looking very speedy at the moment in this second phase of the Grand Prix. And there goes Nico Hulkenberg past Logan Sargent, and here comes Ocon as well, trying to get past Logan Sargent as well. He's going to have to go around the outside of the final corner here. But he should be able to use the slipstream here from Nico Hulkenberg to get that move done. And they're still running side by side, so it's great racing at the moment as Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez also continued the battle out here. And it is going to be Ocon getting himself past Logan Sargent. And this is the battle I was talking about. Here's a replay of it. So Carlos Sainz trying to do the same thing here, but he's been able to get a run done much sooner. So he gets the move done before they even reach the braking zone. And then this is one that I completely missed as well. So this is a battle here for Max Verstappen to try and get the lead back of this Grand Prix. So he tried around the outside at the final corner here and couldn't quite get it done. So he's going to use a dose of the DRS here. Probably also a heap of ERS to get the move done. Oscar Piastri is going to keep his nose up the inside here. But it looks like Verstappen might be able to keep the move. Is he going to be able to? No, Oscar Piastri. Max Verstappen actually squeezes Oscar Piastri a little bit towards the wall. Piastri has to back out of it so they don't crash, and Max Verstappen takes back the lead. But very quickly, Oscar Piastri has got himself back, and these two battling has allowed George Russell and Charles Leclerc to catch up. So we've got a four-way battle here for the lead of this Grand Prix, with Oscar Piastri leading the way ahead of Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz is now under attack from Sergio Perez, so he hasn't been able to pull out that gap that every driver wants to after you've made that move to try and get that 1 second buffer. So Sergio Perez are trying to do the same thing Carlos Sainz tried many times, but it looks like Sainz is going to get the better exit once again, as Nico Hülkenberg and Esteban Ocon also had a little bit of a battle going on there. But back to the front here, this is Max Verstappen getting himself back past Oscar Piastri, and with only, well, they're about to start the final lap of the race, so this could be very crucial here. If one of these two wants to get the win, George Russell is tucked in behind the slipstream of Oscar Piastri, and they're going to go 3 wide down the main straight. Max Verstappen in that superior straight line speed is going to get past Oscar Piastri, and so Max Verstappen's now taking the lead going onto the final lap here. Oscar Piastri, George Russell remain side by side through this very tricky section here. And it is going to be Oscar Piastri. He comes out on top and claims a P2 for now. And this is a battle with Sergio Perez that I got distracted by, actually. So Perez, they're doing exactly what Carlos Sainz did and getting himself past into the braking zone. And this is Ocon also getting himself past the second Aston Martin here. So he's managed to dispatch both Aston Martins to get himself further up into the points. But now looking ahead here, Max Verstappen has driven a great race. He has battled Oscar Piastri to the very end and managed to pull out a gap when he needed it most. On the final lap, Max Verstappen claims victory here in Saudi Arabia. Oscar Piastri second, George Russell third. For ourselves, it's going to be last. We were so wounded, but just had to get ourselves to the end.
And that brings the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix to a close as we reflect on the team's impressive performance today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
Well, there we have it for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It was another win for Max Verstappen and an absolutely terrible race overall for Brabham here. So neither car getting into the points, second to last and a last for ourselves, and we had severe damage. So wasn't really expecting to do much after that crash. So yeah, I still can't get over what Lando Norris was trying to do there. Absolutely ruined both of our races because he didn't finish inside the points either. As now we take a look at the rest of the points finishes. So Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon, Nico Hülkenberg, Logan Sargent and Liam Lawson rounding out the points here. And yeah, taking a look there. So both Brabham's P20, P21, Lando Norris not making it into the points as well. As now we take a look here at the Drivers' Championship. Lando Norris leads the way by 10 points over Max Verstappen. Sergio Perez sitting third, 35 points off the lead of the championship. Myself, fifth, 47 points off the lead. And Alex Albon sitting 10th at the moment, 133 points off. And McLaren lead the constructors by 8 points over Red Bull. Ferrari third, 133 points off the lead. Brabham was sitting fourth, 143 points off the lead. Is now here in the marketing department, we've got a bit of a ask the drivers that we've got to do here. So try and get ourselves some extra resource points here to try and see if we can't get a couple of questions here. So what's the best part about Formula One? Well, it has got to be just the part that it's, well, what's exciting about it is that it's just Formula One overtaking drivers. It's all a part of the Formula One's circus. So definitely looking to get us to get that question sorted. And now the final question, what do I do before the race? Well, honestly, I do a bit of chill, I do a little bit of investigating, but I'm really just talking to the team, making sure that everything is as to plan and that we can do everything that we need to do. Is now here in the durability department, we're going to be looking to try and spend some of these R&D points, and we're going to have a look here at the MGUK failure analysis and spend a few chunks of that while it's on special there, 31% off, and looking to see if we can't possibly work out why we've had failures in the past, and we need it to be more durable, and that is why we're doing that upgrade. Is now that is going to be all for this episode. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode where we've only got a few races left and we are begging to try and get ourselves back into championship contention. It's going to be a hard ask, but I'm sure we can do it. See ya.